san, ni, ich. Ho, how's everybody? My name's Kyuubi, and welcome to Kyuubi's Corner, episode 2. Today, I'm with a Hawaii convention panelist, game show host, and now a Twitch streamer. Please welcome Remy Zane.
Good morning, or afternoon, or evening, wherever it is you are. Hello.
So this is Kyuubi's Corner, episode 2, where I invite artists, event hosts, and other otakus to talk anime. And that's pretty much why we're here.
All right.
If you guys haven't seen the first episode featuring my Kawaii Jack, where we talked about Comic-Con, sexual assault, and other anime stuff, please click above Remy's head. But with that, let's get into the first question.
Let's go.
So, Remy, you are a convention host, or convention anime event host person.
Ish.
How did you get into hosting events?
So at an earlier Kawaii Kon, there was a quiz panel that I thought was really easy. The next year, I tried to play as a contestant. And fun fact, I host all these events for anime, community events and such, like Kawaii Kon and all that. I don't really watch much anime. I read a lot of manga, but I don't really keep up with the current seasons and all that. And despite that, when I played in this quiz panel, I happened to do fairly well. And around this time, I moved to Japan, but I still wanted to take part in Kawaii Kon events as much as possible. So I tried to make my own quiz panel. And
in Japan?
No, for Kawaii Kon, I came back for some of the Kawaii Kons. And I found out pretty early on that I have to be very careful with the question content, because while I thought was easy, medium, hard, was hard, harder, and kill me now. And 2012, I was still in Japan, but I made the quiz show panel for Kawaii Kon. I did PowerPoint, I gave guidelines, and all that stuff. And I sent it to my friends at Con to handle, and I felt like they did a job. Some things I wish they could have done differently, for lack of better words, and at that point I thought to myself, maybe I should host these on my own. Kind of a control freak, I guess, part of my personality.
This was like 2012-ish?
Yeah. Okay. And 2012 happened, and then starting around 2013, I would host my own panels like Jeopardy, Anime Family Feud, and so forth, and it worked out, I think, pretty well. There's been consistent audience, thank you so much for always coming out if you're watching, if you've been to my shows. And I think really being able to entertain those people, being able to entertain the attendees at Kawaii Kon, being able to entertain in general is cathartic for me too. So I'm happy that I can, even if I don't watch that much anime, I can still give people some kind of joy about it. It works out pretty well.
So back then, you weren't really that much into anime, yet you won this quiz.
So the problem with PowerPoint-based game shows is that you have to really know the logistics. So, for example, the panel that I won, kind of single-handedly, with all due respect, was they had the question on screen in full, and the host would start reading it as soon as the question was on screen. The problem being is I can speed read to a very small extent, so maybe the other contestants thought they had to wait for the entire question to be read, and I certainly didn't. So if the question's answer was like haruhi, and if the first 3 words were clearly about haruhi, or if the entire question was about haruhi and I read it before everyone else, I would just raise my hand and give the answer. There was no buzzer system in play at the time, so it's just a matter of raise your hand first. And luckily for me, I got some questions wrong, so I didn't look like a total nerd, but it reminded me that you have to be really careful how you present that content as well, but that's for another topic altogether. So I don't really watch anime so much as I utilize the rules to my best advantage.
And that applies to now too?
I don't really play very often, you know? I don't play that many trivia games or...
You're more on the other end.
I'm more on the other end, you're right, yeah.
That's cool.
And with that in mind, you know, I always have to make sure that if the questions are all on the screen, that it's not, for example, a buzzer game, unless the contestants are facing away from the screen, and that's just for the audience to see. Because I think we've done that before once or twice, and it can work out. But I don't know if that's something I'll do in the future. Yeah. But it's just something that I know that can be done given the right circumstances.
Pertaining to you being a trivia host, how is it? How would you describe it? Like that feeling of hosting trivia? Because I did have one instance where I came to visit. I was very interested in trying out my hosting skills and stuff, so I contacted you like last year or something like that, early last year.
Probably.
And then I did get to go to one of those trivia hosts, trivia events at Osayami, which has really good food.
Really good food.
And it was chill. It was kind of what I expected. Like oh, you go to a bar or like a place.
So to provide your viewers some context, after hosting trivia things at Kawaii Kon in 2014, I began my own trivia company, Trivia Hawaii, where kind of inspired by what I was doing with Kawaii Kon, I would host, you know, regular topic trivia events around town, different bars, different restaurants, and so forth. And we actually sold that company to a company called Sporkle earlier this year. So I'm still hosting trivia. It's just not my own trivia. And Kyuubi here very kindly went to one of the events we have at the Osayami Bar and Grill. And yeah, I think he had a lot of fun. To answer your question, I feel like, again, it's just a matter of entertaining people. You know, it's not so much trying to be like a center of attention, I hope. You know, that's not really what I'm shooting for. Maybe it turns out like that every now and then. But I like to learn stuff. I like to socialize, obviously. Like trivia and Kawaii Kon are basically my only major social groups right now. So without either of them, I would be living in a van down by the river, you know, by comparison.
Like under the H1?
Yeah, just about. H1, 2, 24, whatever it is. But I think it's kind of an off-topic, you know, I'm kind of branching off a little bit, but trivia and Kawaii Kon in their own unique ways really got me through like college and adulthood, and it's also my way of like saying, hey, thank you for letting me experience, you know, my 30s. So I'm glad that these things still exist, and I'm glad that I still have these outlets to make some kind of impact, I guess.
That's good.
I hope so.
Oh, excuse me. I'm feeling under the weather, so if I sound like shit, I feel way better than I sound.
But if he looks like shit, well, you're out of luck there.
God damn it.
I tried.
Oh my god. So with your, what, almost a decade of experience? Ish. Do you have any tips for future event hosts and maybe entrepreneurs too? Because you started Trivia Hawaii. It's your own business. So do you have any tips for people who want to go into either hosting or being an entrepreneur here in Hawaii in that sense?
Make sure you have a pretty solid plan. Like the first year or so with running events in general, I didn't know what to charge, I didn't know what I was doing, and I would say that if it's a business model that has no previous, you know, existence, like if this is a whole brand new concept in America or the world, make sure that whatever money you expect to be making will keep you afloat at the very least. If you don't make money in the first couple years, that's also kind of a to be expected thing in Hawaii especially. So I would argue that come prepared. If you have to take out a loan, take out a loan. I am lucky in that
I've done that.
I am lucky in that I didn't have to, but that absolutely, you know, limited what I was able to do in the first couple of years. Like I absolutely not having the loan would, or having the loan would have changed things a little bit. Okay. But at the same time, again, I'm somewhat of a control freak, and being able to handle all of these different facets of the job, more or less on my own, you know, in terms of like logistics, in terms of hiring and all that, was helpful like that. But if it is like whatever business you want to do, if it is a model that has an example somewhere before, like trivia, you know, this, it's not a brand new concept. It's been there here for decades in the England and America and so forth. Look for ideas, you know, absolutely, and feel free to occasionally borrow from them.
Like for this podcast, I think I maxed out my credit cards, reserving rooms, and buying equipment and other stuff. So I think it's a sacrifice that some people have to make, whether it's financially or like their time wise. But so your number one thing is basically for people to have a plan.
Have a plan, absolutely. That's of course also one thing to consider, where you have to figure out how much things will cost. But that's absolutely going to semantics, going into much more detail than I think your listeners would really want to pay attention to just yet.
So moving from the hosting and entrepreneurial side of things, right now there's a good amount of unfortunate but very real controversy and drama surrounding our community. Like
as is life.
Yeah, as is life. I mean, but then again, very unfortunate. We talked about it in the last podcast, if you guys saw it or haven't seen it. But in your years in the community, what are your thoughts on like these current events?
Are you referring to specific current events or just drama in general?
Oh, we can go specific and then we can just widen the topic. Yeah,
sure.
So, like for example, the Comic Kon sexual assault.
That's what you're. Okay, you mean the guy got arrested, right?
Yes, he got arrested for sexually harassing a minor, a 13-year-old.
Yeah.
And then we're not really naming names, but you know, some people are calling out others for being shady too, in that sense.
That will be a lovely talk that we have off camera. I'm actually kind of curious.
Yeah.
But in regards to the assault case, it's of course unfortunate, and it definitely shouldn't happen.
Yeah.
That really, I feel like that should just be the end of it. You know, how dare he? What was he thinking? You know, and just leave it at that.
Yeah.
And
like catch him, book him, take him to jail.
More or less, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And so, if there's any drama behind that, in all honesty, you're gonna have to enlighten me, because maybe I haven't been on the right Facebook channels. What drama has been going on with this?
It's not like a major thing, but what I noticed when there were certain posts and stuff, like the headline read Comic Kon sexual assault, which kind of brings into it kind of brings down, you know, the reputation of the community.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think after like an hour or so, I think a lot of people complained to those news outlets and they changed the title to just.
I didn't realize they changed it. Okay.
Yeah, I think.
Oh, I wasn't aware of that. Okay. Well, it's definitely not a good look.
Yeah.
Comic Kon assault doesn't look good for comics or conventions or the community. Absolutely. I feel like it's weird. Like, it's media's job to provide context.
Yeah.
People will want to know more details, and from a business standpoint, people will want the media companies and stuff. They want viewers to click the link, to click and see the ads, and
because it's supposed to be like clickbaity, you know, or
I mean,
attention grabbing, you know.
Right. So I wouldn't go so far as to call the article in question clickbait, but definitely it's supposed to grab attention.
Yeah.
So that's why you hear things where you see headlines that might mention ethnicity, for example, or they might mention, you know, like where they're from or what, you know, I guess specific details.
Yeah.
It's not a good look for the community at all. But it's okay. So in this discussion, I think I did see a post about someone may have thought that it was good publicity for a convention.
What?
Well, not that, you know, assault is a good thing by any measure, But under the vein that there's no such thing as bad publicity. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh my god.
Hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully I miss remembering that.
Yeah.
But it's one of those weird things where common sense dictates that it's terrible and just leave it at that.
Yeah.
And any drama beyond that might be reaching. There was a post on somehow one of the posts about the assault case drew comparisons to the Vic drama.
Yeah.
And
it makes sense.
It makes sense, but at the same time,
they're not correlated.
They're not correlated, and given the nature of the Vic drama, I feel like, in the immortal words of Elsa, God, just let it go. Is how I would react to it. I think there's some people in the community that feel like that they want their own sense of justice regarding that particular instance.
Yeah.
And I understand that feeling, but I honestly don't think it's worth it. Drama in general, just not worth it. Book them, throw them in jail, leave it at that.
Yeah.
And what the folks at Comic-Con might have to do for sure is to, I don't know,
like up security kind of thing.
Well, see.
Like, what me and Jack talked about last time was like when we went to these events, the security is really good.
Yeah.
It's probably not. I mean, there could be room for improvements and such. But like, if you guys looked into the sexual assault case like further, most of their communication happened through social media.
Right.
And from what I remember, the actual sexual assault happened not at the con but at a hotel.
Alamoana Hotel?
I don't remember what hotel it was, but I'm pretty sure it was a hotel in the area.
Apparently, yeah, it was Alamoana Hotel.
Oh, is that what you looked up?
According to this right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Our sources. In this realm that we're talking about right now, how do you feel that community members, especially younger members, can avoid these situations? Like, whether it be drama or just uncomfortable, unfortunate situations.
I have a panel at Comic-Con and stuff that talks about like social awkward situations and socially awkward people and all that stuff. And someone, a high school aged female attendee, brought up a similar situation. An older male might have expressed interest in them. Especially younger people, I feel like it would be a good call if they brought a friend no matter what.
Oh yeah,
if
definitely.
I told the girl in question, if you're getting unwanted attention from a guy, just say, oh, I don't like guys, for example, as one example, or just call an adult, or just scream.
Yeah. Like, if you feel uncomfortable at a space where you shouldn't feel uncomfortable.
Play that nuclear card. Yeah, dude, go for it.
Freaking all rights too. If you want to like get out of there as fast as possible, like you can just be like, I do not like this.
In the specific instance of the assault case, they met at the conventions, they shared social media, and then I guess the guy went to the hotel room to play games with this attendee.
Yep.
And then negative things absolutely happened there.
Yeah.
But with that in mind, don't put yourself into those kind of situations unless you're absolutely sure that. Well, see, I want to say that, like, don't put yourselves into these situations unless you're absolutely sure it's safe. But at the same time, it's tough to know what's safe.
It is tough to know.
It's so tough to know who to trust sometimes, especially if you're, 13, 14, whatever.
Yeah, super naive back then.
I don't know, like, yeah, definitely bring a friend, definitely have, like, if you are a minor, don't be afraid to let your parents in on the loop for the most part, or let your friends be in the loop, keep track of where you are. If there are, because like there was a previous, not con related, but there was a kidnapping case on Oahu a couple months ago, I'd heard about that UH student was kidnapped.
Yeah.
And one thing you could definitely do is to have a friend, like a trusted friend, you know, share your location on your smartphones at all times.
Yeah.
Like I do that with my family and close friends because I want to make sure they're safe, you know, and we have iPhones, or even I think Google Maps does this as well. They can, you know, always keep track of your location. So if something were to happen to a family member, you can kind of figure out where they are and find them accordingly. God willing, of course, you know, but there's so many ways to stay safe. And if you aren't aware enough to have common sense, if you're not young enough, not old enough to have common sense, just bring people wherever you go, you know. Tyler, what? Can I call you Tyler?
Yeah.
Tyler?
Tyler's Corner, I guess.
Tyler's Corner.
Yeah. Anyway.
All right. What are your thoughts? I mean, what do you want to add to this?
Well, pretty much like what you said. Like, as long as as long as people that you're close to are aware of either where you are or who you're with, how long you're going to be out, all that kind of stuff, and that when you're actually meeting the person, if you are meeting a person, or going to somewhere that you don't know or whatever, if you're with like a friend or two, like a trusted friend or two, like those are like, I think the two top things that you can do, or that community members can do to avoid these situations. That's pretty much it on that topic. Anything else to add?
All the best of wishes to, of course, Comic-Con and the family of the victim of the assault. You know, it's something that might last a long time in terms of how it affects the individual, and I wish just the best of, you know, life, you know, for them. It sucks, but I'm hoping that they recover and they're able to live life and maybe even go to cons. You know, I don't know the people in question. I really don't. I don't think. Yeah. But I hope that they are able to come back from this stronger, as a stronger person, for sure. Yeah.
Amen. Amen. Moving on from that topic.
Sure.
You recently started Twitch streaming.
Yep.
What's the biggest lesson you've learned from that so far? You've been doing it for a month?
About a month. A bit under a month.
Yeah. So, what is the biggest lesson you've learned from this month of Twitch streaming?
The biggest lesson I've learned is that I'm not as popular as I thought I was. No. So, I have a day job. I have my trivia night job, and right in between, I stream.
Okay.
And so.
So, like in the afternoon.
Yeah, like
evening.
So about like 1 to 4, give or take, or 2 to 5.
Oh, that's really good. 3 hours solid.
Yeah.
Wow.
2 to 5 weekdays when I can, and one thing I've noticed is that because I always feel very, very hesitant to like promote myself.
Okay.
Like going back to the whole like center of attention kind of awkwardness. You know, I don't want to be like me, you know, anything like that. Like, but when you're a Twitch streamer, that's
you kind of
have to. So like, I make a social media post here and there, you know, once a day or so. About my streaming, and hopefully it's not too much, you know, too many posts. But other than puns and, you know, world news updates, I don't really use Facebook very much, for example. And so I'm always concerned that all people see on my social media feeds are, hey, I'm streaming now, hey, I'm streaming now, you know, kind of thing. And even then, because it's a new stream, because it's just me doing my thing, I'm lucky if I have got more than like 4 or 5 people watching at any given time, which is probably natural, honestly, for most streams. I'm not sure yet if I want to spend money on like marketing myself or my stream, but right now I think I'm having fun with it. I'd like to be able to make it like a significant income source down the road, for example.
Yeah, definitely.
But hopefully people will choose the same games that I play when they go on Twitch. You scroll down to the very bottom. Oh, there's this person. Click, you know, and see what happens there. Because I don't play Fortnite. I don't play most of the major popular games. I've never played LOL. You know.
Really?
I played StarCraft. You know, a bit of StarCraft too. But MOBAs never. Like, there's what, high, mid, those 5 different.
Oh, top, mid, jungle.
Yeah, I don't know what those things are. Not remotely. Like,
Okay.
you give me Mario Kart, I'm good. You give me Tetris, I'm good. Give me Kingdom Hearts.
You've been playing Overwatch though?
I play on Fridays, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So I played for the second time last night.
Okay.
And,
second time? Ever?
Ever.
Wow.
Oh, I played like 1 minute of a tutorial once, and then I played like last week, and I played yesterday. And it's fun, you know. I've been enjoying 76. He's very simple, you know. But I'm also terrible at cooperation. I'm very much a competitive person.
Are you a hardcore gamer? Like, you have a headset on? Are you playing on PC?
PS4.
PS4,
but
you have like a headset on?
So it's weird because like I'm playing while I'm on Twitch, and if I use a PS4 headset, it'll be kind of weird. I'd be talking to the team and also Twitch at the same time. And
right.
I wouldn't want to, you know, hinder my teammates like that. So
like, oh guys, today we're doing this, and then what?
Yeah,
what are you
exactly,
doing?
exactly.
Like, who are you talking to? Your mom, what? You know.
So I don't use the headset.
Okay.
I have a mic, if anything, you know, for streaming.
And then do you have a webcam too? Okay.
I have a webcam, yeah.
Okay.
I have a webcam, I have a mic. Some friends of mine very kindly gifted me a ring light.
Nice.
You know, so I'm using that when the weather permits for it.
Yeah.
I've got a green screen. Like, I'd like to.
Green screen.
It's fun. Yeah. I'd like to make this a serious thing.
Yeah.
But I'm perfectly aware that it's going to start slowly. Hopefully, it's weird. Like with trivia, with Kawaii Kon events, with streaming, they're all the same. Like, I know how to make the event happen. I know how to put it on. But I am terrible at marketing it. I am terrible at getting the word out. Twitch.tv/Remy Romero.
Well, you're not that. If you could do that, you're not that.
I was waiting for the right moment to do that. No, but I'm just so bad at marketing it that I'm just thankful that anyone shows up in the first place.
Yeah. I mean, if you... Do you like the games you play? I know it might be a
Mario Kart for sure, Tetris for sure, Kingdom Hearts for sure. Cuphead is my Thursday game right now, doing like retro games on Thursday. Cuphead's hard as hell. I love it. It's so hard. Like, it's so fun.
Me being... some people might call me like a micro-influencer or whatever. Or
a microwave?
Micro-influencer.
Oh, okay. I mean, you're short, but...
Microwave.
That's adorable. Do that again.
Microwave.
I'm so proud of you.
We got smaller. Okay. Because like I make videos and I'm trying to get into the social media space and just break out and make it a full-time thing that I can...
Your brand?
Like brand it. Almost everything that I do, I try to document it. You know, even if it's playing games.
Sell your own coffee and call it Kyuubi.
That's actually genius.
You're welcome.
What is? I don't have a.
You have a. It's been recorded. Kyuubi.
Copyrighted.
Kyuubi, you know, Kyuubi.
KYU beans.
Or just Kyuubi. Hell.
Q.
Yeah.
Where was I going with this? Oh, okay. Anyway,
I'm so sorry.
The Q beans. Get them in the link in the description. So anyway, yeah, because I try to like document almost every part of my life, because you do want to create that relationship with like your audience and your followers and stuff. Whenever I play League of Legends, like even if it's an ARAM game, which is like a shorter version of the 5-lane thing, it's just 1 lane. Like all 10 players are on 1 lane instead of 3, like how you said.
Yeah.
When I do that, or when I'm just chilling out and I Twitch stream, I just want to have a conversation, or I just want to document what I'm doing.
God, am I following you yet on Twitch? I don't think I am.
I don't know. Okay, honestly, I haven't Twitch streamed in like months.
Oh.
So maybe that's why I haven't seen it. But I mean, it's twitch.tv/Kyuubi. Yeah.
Hold on. Kyuubi.
When I get that notification, I will follow you back.
Done.
But now the segue is perfect that we're talking about this now, because I know that you might have. We talked before about you might have some questions from me about YouTube and streaming, maybe. I don't know. Did you have questions for me? I don't remember that conversation, but I'm sure you just wanted to talk about like YouTube and creating and streaming.
So part of what I want to do with my newfound free time that I sold my trivia company is of course Twitch, but also I want to figure out a way to make time for YouTube. My biggest question I would have for you, because you've been doing this for a longer time, a time even, how do you overcome, as a creator, how do you overcome the need to do things absolutely right? Like, I want to start doing, you know, like gaming videos at home, like bringing in a friend of mine, having like a trivia game, that kind of thing. I got a sofa in my room recently, thanks to Ross and Katie for helping me with that. But I wanted like a table, for example. I want like a glass table in there because I want that specific aesthetic. It might not be feasible in the long term. It might not even translate to a necessarily better product, but how do you overcome that need to
be perfect?
For lack of better words, sure. Yeah.
Okay. So what I've learned from a bunch of like motivational and entrepreneurial YouTubers and just people, one of the most influential people was this guy named Gary Vaynerchuk. Have you heard of him?
I don't know who that is. At least by name.
He's very hustle oriented. He runs like $1 million or so media company, and he does like a wine show and all this kind of stuff, business stuff. And within the past few years, he's been pumping out videos on marketing and how to be like the best entrepreneur you can, be the best person you can. Honestly, like at the root of it, instead of just being the best entrepreneur you can, how to be the best person you can. And one of the things that he's instilled in me was just doing it and getting it out there is way better than just waiting for the perfect moment, or waiting for the perfect table, waiting for the perfect lighting. Like, we probably don't have the best lighting right now. We don't have like a painting in the background, you know. I mean, we have that one, but we don't have like a Kyuubi statue of me nine-tailed naked.
Kyuubi statue? Yourself nine-tailed and naked?
No, I mean, okay, maybe I kind of do now that I think about it. Like, just standing right here and just going like this, and this, like, the tails are covering me.
You're gonna see a Kickstarter in like 5 weeks for this. Be careful.
Honestly, I'm also thinking about starting a Kickstarter. So I don't know if I told you, but I will probably go into detail in this more soon. But I got accepted for a Japan study abroad trip for like a year. So it's pretty dope. I can't really release the details now because it's not like, it's probably like 99% ongoing. There's a small 1% that we gotta, like paperwork stuff that we gotta finish. But I mean,
congratulations.
Probably, thank you. The finances though might be like the biggest hurdle. But I mean,
so a GoFundMe for the airfare or for the everything, or for
like airfare and just living, because the dorming and the tuition would be covered, but everything else. But I mean, I'll go into that more. We're talking about him. We're talking about Mr. Zane right now.
And Mr. Kyuubi is going to be selling very small miniature statues of a Nine-Tails naked version of
just
himself.
Covering the tails, covering my
exactly.
no parts.
Your no parts. And believe me, there's several.
Yeah. There's 9 of them. So the perfection or the doing over perfection was like the only thing. What else was on your mind about when you're creating? You know, because honestly, even though I do this a lot, like I don't. Some people might say this cliche or whatever, but I don't really see myself as like this big YouTuber who can, like, you know, create anything and, you know, all that kind of stuff. Like, I try to.
One thing, so I don't follow that many YouTubers. I have one specific channel that I adore to death, and it's a Japanese kind of a trivia channel called Quiznok. But one thing I've noticed about Quiznok and other Japanese channels especially is that they start almost each video with like a catch copy. So there's this female, I guess, lifestyle YouTuber named Yukinu, who's, you know, mid-20s, attractive, has good advice, you know, does a lot of collabs and stuff with other YouTubers, and she always starts her videos with like a very same cutesy, memorable introduction. And
like a catchphrase?
Like a catchphrase, yeah. And that catchphrase is also the title of her first photo book, oddly enough. And so what you did in this video, for example, hi guys, it's Kyuubi, you know, that's absolutely something that you probably should keep doing. Someone that's like not familiar with your channel, if it gets shared to a Facebook channel, for example, Facebook feed, they'll be like, hey, this is a video that has a Naruto icon on it or something like that. You'll click it and you go, "Hi guys, it's Kyuubi," and hopefully you have Kyuubi written on the bottom, and now they'll have a name attached to the face. Yeah. And sorry about the face, of course, but I'm kidding. But I think definitely it would be a good thing to maintain, and that's also something that I would have kind of trouble with, like, "Hello, this is Remy," like that.
Yeah, I mean, just as simple like that. My current catchphrase or intro, which is how's it, everybody? My name's Kyuubi. That started like at the first or second NEET, which was like 2 years ago or so.
That was a long time ago.
I know, right? But ever since then, that's been my catchphrase. But before that, it was like, because I wanted to brand myself as like a Hawaii otaku, I was like, "Aloha, everybody." But then it just gradually changed to, how's it, everybody?
2 years. Hello, greetings. My name is Kyuubi.
Like England, British.
I'd love for you to talk with a British accent for the remainder of the video. That'd be fantastic.
Oh my god, my voice is gonna die.
You know what? I believe in you. I believe in your ability to make this happen.
I'm gonna stop this right now. I'm gonna stop it before we go further. Because
the important thing is you tried.
I did try it for one sentence.
You did.
Now, so we talked about a few topics now. Kawaii Kon 2019 was about a month ago.
Yeah.
I think, yeah. How was your Kawaii Kon?
It went well. Family Feud was interesting. I basically tried a different method. I tried a format where the audience would choose the answers instead. And one thing I learned that I think they expected an actual survey and answers after all. So the idea to engage the audience specifically there, or to focus only on what the audience thinks, it's a different format. It's more like a debate format, so it doesn't become Family Feud. And so I think I'll have to, for 2020, put like a Family Feud for real this time, in part of the description, just in case. We raised over $1,000 for one of our community members who had a stroke earlier this year, and that was nice. We watched, oh God, what did we watch? We watched Street Fighter: The Legend of Chun-Li. As a charity.
Oh my god, is that the one with
Kristen Kriuk?
Okay.
Robin Shaw, Chris Klein. God, was Michael Clark Duncan in that too? I feel like he was. It is the cinematic equivalent of a lobotomy.
Okay.
Mixed with a colonoscopy.
Wait, where did you watch this?
At Kawaii Kon.
Like, in a panel?
In a panel. So I do a charity film roast every con.
Oh, right.
And we've been raising money for like American Cancer Society and stuff. We chose to do a fundraiser just for this guy, and we raised a lot of cash. Shout out to the people that wanted Super Mario Brothers to be watched instead. We'll see about that. Maybe we'll watch it again next time. We'll see. But that was fun. My third panel, the awkwardness panel, went pretty well. It was my first time in a while not staffing, honestly, because I also staff for events every now and then for Kawaii Kon, and I wasn't sure this year if I could make it.
Like you being in a dedicated role in the con?
Dedicated role in the event staff, whether it's watching the door or making running errands and stuff.
Okay.
So the actual volunteer stuff, I would do that a lot too.
Yeah.
This year I couldn't do the work, the obligations, but overall I think it went pretty well.
Nice.
How about yourself?
Again, honestly, the first 2 days really slow.
Really?
And kind of boring.
Really? I'm surprised.
Yeah, I know, right? I think it's because Sunday, which is like both my Naruto events back to back, which I've been doing for 5 years now.
Your what events? Sorry?
Naruto events.
Oh, okay.
The Naruto cosplay meetup, the photo shoot, and then now my third panel. Because they're what I'm working on for like almost for like up to a year. Up until that point, I'm like always excited and anxious about that one day compared to the first two. And I do try to have fun. I try to go to all the concerts and all the events and stuff. And then, but like I don't know. I guess it was like either the voice actors or like just the panels going on. Most of them didn't interest me. Some did.
Okay.
But that was just my personal opinion.
Right.
Like, there's many, like hundreds of people who said that they had really like a lot of fun, and then others who.
What I saw of the first 2 days, in terms of the crowd, for example, I thought there were like a lot of people there.
Yeah.
I don't think I had too much time to go to that many panels, only because again work and so forth. But I thought it went well. People seemed happy, and hopefully they can expand on that for next year.
Yeah.
It's happening in May though, I think, right?
May.
I feel like it's in May.
Yeah. Beginning of May, I think. Beginning of May?
Middle of May.
Mid-May? Like 17? Oh, maybe 17-ish.
Let's see here. Kawaii Kon 2020.
So while you're looking up that?
May 15 through 17.
Damn.
It's gonna be May.
What? From the...
What?
Moving on from Kawaii Kon, you've been hosting this semi-new event called Shirokiya Matsuri.
Which got cancelled.
Wow. Really?
Yep.
Oh.
It was a lot of fun. It was a monthly craft fair. It was like musical performances, that kind of stuff. You know, like different kids activities. And Shirokiya is planning something new. They are planning something new to begin later on this month. And the Matsury's been fantastic. Lasted about a year.
Okay.
And I don't know what's coming up after that. At least for me on Sundays, that I can't officially announce yet. But there is something planned. I'll talk to you about. But you'll find out more about that very soon.
Nice. Well, just talk about that a little bit. The few Matsuri, because I couldn't make all of it, obviously, but the few that I did go to, lots of fun.
Thank you much.
Got to see like the artists, got to see you a lot, talk to you, musicians, performers. Really awesome event.
It was a lot of fun.
And I guess we'll close off with this. In the first ever AO Fest and Hawaii Anime Awards from 2018, what were your thoughts on the event?
For my thoughts on AO Fest, go to Kyuubi Kaze's sub-channel. No,
oh my god.
I had fun.
Yeah.
And it's weird because the AO brand, for whatever reason, has had a bit of a struggle to kind of get out.
A lot of hiccups.
It's had years worth of hiccups honestly for different reasons, and it's no one's individual fault for the most part.
It was just very unfortunate.
It was, you know, and I feel like the organizers of the most recent one did what they felt they could, absolutely. And
yeah, I was at the front seat of all of their planning.
You were there far more than I was. I was just there when I could be there, you know, like hosting and stuff. The problem was, I just feel, again, marketing. Like, we could have had a bunch more people there. I feel like we could have had a bunch more.
It was very weird. So, like, I don't know. I never signed anything, so I think I can talk about this to an extent.
I'm not sure what I signed, actually.
But I think I signed one thing, but I'm pretty sure not considering this.
Yeah.
They sold way more than the amount that came.
Oh. I wasn't aware of that. Okay.
So maybe some people didn't come.
Right.
Or, okay, maybe I worded that wrong. Let's say, I don't remember the exact numbers, but let's say they sold 700 tickets. Okay. Like in person and online. 700, right? I think it was a little bit more. I don't know. But 700. But when you walk into the event throughout the whole day, it only feels like maybe a couple, 300 at most, maybe. Or something like that, you know? But there was a big disparity in the amount that they sold. So I was like, where were all these people?
I feel like...
I don't know. Because I was running around, I was hosting it.
So. What the runners of the show told me was that they were basically getting a feeler for, you know, A, how it's done, and B, what kind of reaction there would be. Yeah. So I feel like in terms of marketing, again, they could have done a lot more. They could have done more like banners, presentations.
Like these specific organizers, it was their first?
Right, absolutely. And for their first time, hey, it's their first time, for sure.
Yeah.
At the same time, I think we've come to expect, even with NEAT, which is more or less a similar type of event in terms of size and attendance and what they have to offer, Neat's been doing very well. Ian and his crew did a fantastic job, and I think being able to maintain the same kind of quality in terms of the product, the experience, the printed materials, and so forth, that's something that maybe a lot of folks expected, that maybe AO runners that time that we were there didn't, or maybe they just didn't think it was that necessary. Like these are more just concerns I heard, and there are other things that I think you probably felt as well as a host. Yeah. The Shokugeki, for example, there was a cooking challenge that was. I feel like there was a lot of planning put into the tournament leading into the final cooking challenge. Yeah. And there wasn't.
They did like 8 rounds.
Right. And for the actual final, it's pretty clear why shows like Iron Chef have all these. They cut out so much of just the cooking process, and they only show the interviewing and the reactions and stuff because there was a fair amount of downtime. Yeah. And I feel like that's something that, as an example, they could have improved on. They could have maybe had something going on in between the downtime.
I think what the AO Fest organizers and the Hawaii Anime Award people, their goal was to, in a way, make it as like rising phoenix from this AO brand, right? And also, but along with being a phoenix, being a stepping stone for what their next few events might be in the future. And from my perspective, like working with them and stuff, I thought I did both. Like not over the top, obviously, because I don't think any event's like perfect. Yeah. But I think they did the best that they could. And
would you do another one?
Yeah. Like would I host it?
Yeah. 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 Me too. Oh, yeah. Me too for sure.
It's awesome. How was it like hosting the Anime Awards then?
What I thought it was going to be in terms of presentation, wound up not being the case, and I like to have logistics kind of squared away. What wound up happening was it was me and Ray. We were just announcing the awards and the winners and just going one after the other. It felt like it should have been a longer affair, but it was over more quickly than it could have been, and I guess. Maybe there was supposed to have been like a presentation with the nominees' names and pictures on the screen and stuff. Yeah. And
was there not? I don't remember.
There was not.
Oh.
There was not.
Really?
There was not.
Oh.
There was not. There were these little statues, as prizes. Yeah. But there was not. And it's definitely something that can be done again, but
just improved. Like majorly.
For lack of better words, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, and I feel like people will have these expectations. I mean, they put in so much effort even into the awards, process, gathering the votes and stuff.
They were doing it for about a year and a half. That was since I think.
Maybe they didn't need more staff, more volunteers. Even I'm not too sure.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
I think the AO Fest the entire crew maybe consisted of
us and Ray.
Well, in terms of hosting cap.
Yeah.
Because we were all even doubling stuff too. Yeah. But there was maybe 7-ish other organizers who had double roles. I think we started off strong too. We had 15-ish main people, and then we were gonna get volunteers and stuff. No, but I mean, I think. There is room for improvement.
For sure.
But it was really fun. Regardless, I would do it again. It was awesome for me hosting it. My first anime event on my birthday. And when the moment where you said my name for the award.
That's right, it was your birthday. And you won the award for, what was it? Best
Hawaii anime YouTuber.
Under 5 foot?
I'm 5'4". Under 6 foot. Microwave.
And on that note, this has been episode 2.
Oh my god. Well, I guess that's Is there any last things you want to talk about real quick for like the audience or to me?
So I am old and frail. I'm in my 30s, and definitely I've been doing panels at Con and such for 7 or so years now, and I'll keep doing them as long as there's still interest. But I'm always thankful that there are quality humans like Kyuubi I can pass the torch to metaphorically, and or baton pass, whatever it is. And
oh my god, that's gonna be the statue. Sorry to cut you off, but the statue is gonna be my 9 tails covering my Nono parts and a torch, or like one of the tails on fire.
The statue of Kyuubi.
Oh my god, like a Liberty statue?
But in all seriousness, actual seriousness, I'm very thankful that people like Kyuubi and Kyuubi here that are, going to represent this generation of anime fans and just Hawaii people in a really positive way. So thank you for doing what you do. I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure.
And thank you everyone for watching.
If you enjoy watching Mario Kart, Tetris, Kingdom Hearts, Cuphead, Overwatch fails on Twitch, or if you enjoy feeling better about your looks by looking at me instead, go to twitch.tv/Remy Zane. We stream every weekday from 2 to 5 p.m. Hawaii time, more or less, and also on the weekends sporadically as well. For more info on that, follow Remy Zane on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, and again, Twitch as well.
I'll leave all his links in the description below, as well as my links and my camera gear if you guys are interested. For the timestamps of our conversation, like if you want to share this video to like a friend or family member, but you only want them to see like a certain part or something like that, I'll have the timestamps.
Why would wait? But then they can just scroll back.
Well, yeah, they could. They could watch the whole thing. Please watch the whole thing. My watch time has gone up like 2,000% since I did a podcast.
Very cool.
Fucking amazing.
Language.
We can swear on this podcast. It's Kyuubi's Corner.
You told me this now.
Oh, well, I guess we gotta wait for episode 5 or so, because I got a few guests after this.
Mother.
Just cut off right there. Other than that, if you guys love anime or Asian culture, please subscribe over here, right next to Remy's awesome face. And join the Cubicle, the most lit anime fam in Hawaii.
Ucker.
Oh my god, that was like one pause. Sayonara. That was all. Did you want to do that with me?
Just so you know, we're doing this one more time. I botched it last time.
My name is Kyuubi.
This is Remy Zane. Take 3. Take 3.
My name is Kyuubi.
This is Kyuubi. God damn it.
My name is Kyuubi. This is
Remy Zane.
And we're saying sayonara.
Well, sayonara now.
Alright, this is the last take. Okay, bye.